So in this extra, we're going to see how to create local notifications. So you're probably all familiar with notifications. They appear at the top of the screen somewhere, and the user can pull down from the top of the screen to action them in some way. They're really useful and a great way to get users back to your app and to give them some useful information at a useful time. So let's jump right in and see how we do it. So all the usual settings. And here we are. I'm going to be working entirely in our main activity file here and entirely in onCreate as well. So this is going to be a very simple app that does nothing but create a notification for the user. And then you can integrate that into your apps and create notifications whenever you like. So we start off by creating our notification. Simple as that. And I'll call it notification. And we use a new notification builder. And we do it within the application context. And then we just set all the options that we want, just like we've done for several other builders over the previous videos. And I'm going to set, you can see we can set all sorts of options there. I'm just going to set the basic ones. So we'll start with content title. I'll have something inane like that. And then we'll have the content text, where you get a bit more detail. You get the idea. I'll set a small icon. So this will be the icon that appears in the notification drawer at the top of the screen. And you can use any image that you like for this. Then we're going to set the content intent. And you can see this is a new class that we haven't come across before called pending intent. So essentially this is the way that we tell our notification what to do if someone taps on it. So let's take a brief break from our notifications and create our pending intent. We'll call it pending intent. And we create it using pendingintent.getActivity, and then we give it a few variables So first, the application context. Next, we give it an ID number, which is just a way for us to verify which intent or which notification was tapped on. So I'm just going to go for 1. And then we need an intent to actually run. And finally, there's some various option settings that we can have at the very end there. I'm not going to put those, so we'll just put 0. So let's create this intent. So for us, this is just going to be a new intent, which is going to happen within the application context, and it's just going to jump to main activity, so what we're used to. There we go. So now we've created our pending intent, which really just links to our intent. And you could imagine here you might want to add some various variables for the intent so that we know, and then we could check when the main activity class is run whether any of those variables were present, and if so, then do something like display the particular email that the user tapped on or something like that. But now we can add our pending intent to our content intent. So that means that when the user taps on the content of this notification, that means the pending intent will be run, and the pending intent really, as far as we're concerned, just returns this ID and runs the intent here, which opens the main activity.class. Okay, we can have some buttons as well. And for those, we need to give an image. So I'm just going to use a built-in one from android.r.drawable. And then you could use any one of these. So I'll just use the chat icon there. And then we give it the name of the we want to appear on the button. And then we give it another pending intent. So in my case, I'm just going to use the same pending intent as before. But you'd probably want to set up a different pending intent, either connected to a different intent or that has a different ID or something like that, so that you could tell that the users pressed the chat button rather than just tapped on the notification. You can add a couple more actions there if you like, but the final setting that I'm going to add is the icon, and we do that with set small icon. And again, I'll just pick a more or less random icon. Let's go for the app icon there. And finally then we build it. So now we've got our notification. All we need to do is display it. And we do that using the notification manager. So we'll create one of those. And this is going to be cast to a notification manager. But we'll get it from the system service, as we've used a couple of times before, and then we want the notification service. And then we simply display the notification. So notification manager.notify. And again, we've got an ID number. I'll just put a 1 again. It doesn't need to be the same as that ID, but just some number that allows you to refer to it or identify it later on. And then the name of the notification that we want to display. And that's it. So let's run that. We should now find that as soon as it runs, we get a notification in the notification bar telling me that my lunch is ready. Let's take a look. There you go. You can see it already actually. So there's our little Android, and if we come down you can see we get lunch is ready, getting cold, and we can tap that button to chat. And if we tap it, it'll go straight back into our notifications demo. Just like that. We can also swipe down to remove the notification. like that, just in the usual way. So that's it. Simple as that. Obviously, you can then program your app to create these notifications whenever you want, but this is your basic code which will allow you to create a local notification and allow the user to do some actions depending on how they might want to respond to that notification. In the next lecture, we'll see how to do remote notifications using Pass, which you can integrate into your social apps like chat apps, etc. See you there.